that it's worth it for all of us to pay attention to Ohio. I know what's going on in the land of 10,000 lakes. I know what's going on in the most northeast state of the country, okay? But I think it's worth it for us to pay attention to Ohio. Why? Because on February 3rd, which is in 4 hours on the East Coast, the temporary protected status of about, I think, 15,000 Haitian people runs out. Do you know what else is in Ohio? Springfield, Ohio. Do you know why Springfield matters? Springfield was the place that J.D. Vance and Donald Trump said that Haitian people were eating animals from. They completely lied and made up this fact because they don't view these people as human. And we know, and you know, that currently there is a roving gang of armed thugs who are unaccountable to the law, who are targeting any person that is any shade of brown because they have quotas to fill. And I am going to echo the words of Timothy Snyder here, the scholar on fascism, when he says, I am worried about an ethnic cleansing that begins tomorrow. May not all happen tomorrow, but I worry it's going to begin tomorrow. I think we should pay attention to it. And I think we should be prepared for it. If you happen to live in the Ohio area and you want to tell me more about what it is that you do or don't see, or you want to tell me about some ways that you're helping keep your neighbors safe without jeopardizing operational security, you can always find me at therealcornpop.01.
Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone who teach 100% truth. Shalom to the 144,000 and to the elect. Just your brother Ra'aya, back with another video. And yeah, this what looks to be an Edomite, this man, he said, he spoke about the so-called Haitians, which are the Levites. And he was saying that on February the 3rd, which was actually yesterday, he was saying that their passports, or it was something he just said. Let me go back to it. You know what I mean?
That signal, and I will keep you all updated as I can. Everybody,
to stay safe,
I want to tell you something I'm worried about. And I think that it's worth it for all of us to pay attention to Ohio. I know what's going on in the land of 10,000 lakes. I know what's going on in the most northeast state of the country, okay? But I think it's worth it for us to pay attention to Ohio. Why? Because on February 3rd, which is in 4 hours on the East Coast, the temporary protected status of about, I think...
Okay, so the temporary protective status of the so-called Haitians that's here in Babylon the Great will expire. Right, so that means that ICE will be out going to get them on up out of the country. The thing about that is that you can't distinguish a Haitian between any of the other tribes. Like, you can't distinguish a Haitian from a Jamaican. You can't distinguish a Haitian from American Negro, because we're essentially the same people, just different tribes, and you can't tell the difference between us. So this is going to be a trouble for Jake. You know, we're already in Jacob's trouble, but this is going to be, you know, like a time like none other, you know. And let me grab that. This is Matthew 24:21, and says, "For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened." Right? So we're coming into a times of Jacob's trouble, where or a time of great tribulation on Jake, where They're going to be coming down with great rap. Now look, in one of the other videos I made, it was speaking about how 100 billion, I believe they said $100 billion was going towards ICE and all of that, right? And I was stating that they don't need $100 billion just to get Northern Kingdom out. They need $100 billion because that's the amount that you will give in a war. That's the amount of money that you would give to an army in a time of a war. They are about to come for all of us, right? And great tribulation shall come upon Jake. Let me get this isn't it. It's lucky, y'all. Right? It's lucky. So let's get back to the video.
15,000 Haitian people runs out. Do you know?
And they said 15,000 Haitians, so I'm guessing it's about 15,000 so-called Haitians in Ohio, but not across America. Is you can't even number how many of them is there, right? So that's the type of budget. $100 million is the type of budget. Matter of fact, let's look it up. Billion. Now, this is saying 85 billion, but it was just 100 billion. So I'm trying to see because hold on, what's going on here? So lucky, y'all. Just doing a little bit of research. Here we go. All right, so look, let's go. Let's read it right here. It says President DJT's sweeping domestic agenda, which seeks to inject plutocratic ideology and disdain for the poor into nearly every corner of American life, is on the verge of passage. Its success comes despite overwhelming unpopularity and official estimates that it will add 3.3 trillion to the national debt while slashing 930 billion from Medicaid over a decade. So they're taking all this money from Medicaid and then they're going to give it over to ICE. He says, yet even for all the descriptors that have been attached to DJT's budget bill, big, mega, supercharged, the scope of one of its most crushing ambitions appears to have been lost on the American public. More than $100 billion in new funding for the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement through 2029. And this is ICE. right? They giving $100 billion in here, right? And it says, what does that even look like? The figure would fund the single largest increase in immigration enforcement in U.S. history. It would ramp up mass deportations to an unprecedented scale, create hastily built sordid detention centers across the country. And these are those concentration camps that we was telling y'all about, that they're gonna throw y'all ass in, and y'all wagged a finger and scoffed at us like we was some type of dogs out there on them streets telling y'all what was going on. Now y'all gonna have to eat all of that. And it says, and all but ensure that millions of people who haven't been accused of crimes are disappeared. Here are some ways to process the scale of $100 billion in ICE funding. 343 times what Elon Musk spent to swing the 2024 elections. 140 times the cost to make New York City buses free. 1,451 times private prison company Core Civics net 2024 income. Damn. 568 times the cost to pay all U.S. student public school lunch debt. 1,923 times the amount saved by the bill's defunding of Planned Parenthood. Right? Oh, wow. 62.5 times what the U.S. paid in reparations to over 82,000 interned Japanese Americans. You see this shit, man? This is why you know that Esau, Edom need to be destroyed, displaced Babylon the Great. Because they gave these, this is off the subject, but they gave these Japanese Americans reparations for what they did over there in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, right? But have the nerve to not give so-called blacks, reparations for 400 years of servitude here. And it's actually been longer than that. It's just, that's crazy work, man. 2000 Jeff Bezos, Lauren Sanchez wedding. 388 of the HIV vaccine program the Trump administration eliminated, effectively ending chances for a shot to prevent infections. 8 times what the U.S. spent to develop and purchase COVID vaccines and COVID vaccines in 2020, right? So it's a whole lot right here where they showing you how much they're gonna, how much money they giving to them to do this. And this is how you know that it's about to get dangerous out here. And people asking, why do they need all this money for all that? It's because they about to lock your ass up, Jake. They about to lock y'all ass up too, you Edomites and you Moabites and Ishmaelites and all y'all that's here. They about to shut this shit down. They want their new world order. And they gonna do whatever they can do to get it. They gonna do whatever they gotta do to get it.
What else is in Ohio? Springfield, Ohio. Do you know why Springfield matters? Springfield was the place that J.D. Vance and Donald Trump said that Haitian people were eating animals from. They completely lied and made up this fact because they don't view these people as human. And
Yep. So when we was out there yelling and saying, and then look, it's making me think these other camps ain't saying nothing about this. Why aren't these other camps warning their congregation? Right?
we know, and you know, that currently there is an roving gang of armed thugs who are unaccountable to the law, who are targeting any person that is any shade of brown.
So Jake thought they had it bad when the narcs was out there pulling people over for no reason, all that. You know how Jake get paranoid when police get behind him and all that. These ICE agents are in unmarked cars. You can't even tell that they ICE. They just in regular type of vehicles pulling people over and junk, right? Man, this is about to be devastating. Once they start pulling Southern Kingdom over, it's a wrap. It's a wrap, then. It's a wrap because look, just how they go into these jobs, going looking for Northern Kingdom and all that, going to these factories looking for them. They're gonna be doing the same thing with Southern Kingdom. And then what you gonna do then? Right, the Heavenly Father said that we are gonna laugh at your calamity. Matter of fact, let me get this. How you get to the Old Testament? There we go. But yeah, he's so like it, y'all. He said we was gonna laugh at y'all calamity because of the bullshit. Cause y'all chose not to listen. So Proverbs 1:22. How long ye simple ones will ye love simplicity, right? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Because all y'all who didn't listen, y'all are all of these. Y'all the scoffers, y'all the scorners, y'all the simple, y'all stupid, y'all foolish, y'all hate knowledge. Knowledge is to know. And it's like all we're doing is telling you so your dumb ass don't die. But hey, it is what it is. Y'all gonna have to be deleted, right? 23, turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. Right? So all these people in that time, they gonna, I don't know what to do. They and nobody ain't gonna have no excuse. They ain't gonna be able to say like, no, didn't nobody tell me? Did nobody do this? I ain't know what was going. No, every single last one of y'all has had somebody tell y'all. The prophets have been out there on these streets for the last 20, 30, 40 years or so. Right? Y'all ain't got no excuse. All of y'all have seen us and y'all have scoffed. And the ones who haven't, that came into this thing, if you still in this thing, then, you know, the Heavenly Father dealing with you. But all of y'all who came in and you left, you know, this goes for you too. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you, because I have called, and ye refused. I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. Right? He gave you the hand that could help you. You know, like if you hanging from a cliff and you got somebody there and they see you and they're like, hey, grab my hand. Grab my hand before you fall. You about to get fucked up. Soon as you fall, you gonna die. Grab my hand. And you decide like, you know what? Fuck all that. I'm gonna do it myself, right? I'm gonna get my, and you slip and you fall off that motherfucker. Hey, it is what it is. You ain't, nobody can say like, hey, I didn't nobody put a hand out for you. And that hand is the prophets. He's symbolically reaching his hand out for you through the prophets that he put out there on the highways and hedges. And these prophets are in your families too. Jake, these prophets are inside of your families. You just don't know that they are. But pretty soon, you're going to know. Let me get this. You're going to know. Oh, Salakia. Where is this at? You gonna know. So this is Ezekiel 33, and we're gonna start at 30. Also, thou son of man, the children of thy people still are talking against thee by the walls, right? And in the doors of the houses. These look, there's prophets in you all's families that the Heavenly Father placed there so that you have no excuse. You have walked past the prophets, whether they were of your family or not. You have one of your, every single last one of y'all have walked past the prophets on the street, whether you seen them and disregarded them and just walked past, or you heard them, you heard what they were saying and you didn't like what they were saying, you scoffed and you got the fuck on. Look, this is you. Also, thou son of man, the children of thy people still are talking against thee by the walls and in the doors of the houses, and speak one to another, every one to his brother, saying, Come, I pray you, and hear what is the word that cometh forth from the Lord. Because they're like, yeah, come on, let's go and listen to what he got to say. But they doing it in a condescending, they doing it in a way where they're scoffing and they not gonna listen. They're not gonna take heed. They're just doing it to entertain, for their own entertainment. Verse 31, it says, And they come unto thee as the people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people, and they hear thy words, but they will not do them. For with their mouth they show much love, but their heart goeth after their covetousness. So they'll say like, yeah, I understand, or they'll act as if they know what you're saying or and all that, but truly their hearts is towards money. Their hearts is toward, meaning their mind is on money. Their mind is on some lustful things. Their mind is on some whole other shit. You know, something that's pertaining to this wicked world. Their minds is on making businesses and starting, you know what I mean, trust funds and all this dumb shit that they learning here in this place, instead of understanding that this place is about to go down. Like, how stupid can you be? How stupid can you be? But the scriptures say, my people are sottish children. Right? They're stupid. So it says, and lo, verse 30, Ezekiel 33 and 32, it says, And lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song of one that have a pleasant voice, and can play well on an instrument. For they hear thy words, but they do them not. And when this cometh to pass, and lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet have been among them. Right? So all this dumb shit they doing, they disregarding y'all. You know what I mean? I came out there. I know you got family members that they ain't trying to hear it. You know what I mean? And let them be. Let them, hey, they don't gotta listen. Because when it come down to it, when all hell break upon them, we gonna laugh at their calamity. And also, the Heavenly Father gonna bring it back to them that you was the one who told them all of this was gonna happen. Then they shall be in perpetual shame. Anyway, Proverbs 1 and 24, because I have called and ye refused, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded, but ye have set at naught all my counsel and would none of my reproof. So you said, forget all that. I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. And that's what typically what most people do while we on them highways and hedges. They like, oh no, I don't like that. Man, I hate these Israelites. I hate them niggas out there on the street. Yeah, that's cool. But y'all gonna eat all that. Y'all truly don't really, y'all think y'all hate us, but truly you hate the Heavenly Father and his Son. And you don't understand that he did these very same things that we're doing. He went out there on the streets and he preached to y'all the same way how we are doing. He told you things that you didn't want to hear. Why you think, man, come on now. Why you think all these people was ready to kill him, to delete him? Right? And they're going to do the same thing to us. Anyway, verse 26 and 25. 26, Salakia. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh, right? Because the Heavenly Father is not going to actually laugh. This is symbolic for the prophets that he's speaking through and that he's using are going to laugh at your calamity. And they're going to mock when your fear cometh. Just like how you mocked us out there on them highways and hedges, and how you mocking us when you're inside these homes, your different family members and all that mocking you, like, oh yeah, he thinks some spaceships gonna come and save us and all, like just talking all types of mocking and scoffing and all that. It's like, man, y'all don't know nothing about the scriptures. You can read in Ezekiel and know that the chariots are these so-called UFOs. You could easily, anybody with a comprehensive brain could read this. The heathen read it and knew, and even brought it up in their little what is this, that TV show they got, Ancient Aliens and all that. They brought it up and they said it themselves. Even the heathen know it. But Jake so stupid, Jake can't even put it together. They so dumb. They thinking that, man, that junk is crazy. But anyway, verse 27, when your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when these concentration camps popping off, when ICE is coming down on you and coming kicking in your door, or while you driving in traffic on your way to go to the grocery store, or when you're on your way to go and pick up your kids from, you know what I mean, that terrible school system that you put them in and all that. Look, that's, hey, when your fear cometh as a desolation and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me, for that they hated knowledge and did not choose Yahweh, the fear of Yahweh. Right? They would none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of their fruit of Salakia. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way, and be filled with their own devices. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. That's what they're too busy with. They're too busy with thinking that this place is, and I made a couple of videos today speaking about that same thing, how they don't want this place to go down because they enjoy the benefits of this place. They enjoy the so-called prosperity. They want the nice car that pollutes the earth. They want the house that keeps costing them over and it's like, man, what in the hell? Like, y'all don't find this to be torturistic? You gotta pay light bills every month. You gotta water all this. Y'all not ready for this shit to end? Hey, y'all deserve it. It says, therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way, and be filled with their own devices. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. But whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from fear of evil. And with that, I'm going to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Shalom, y'all. On to the next.